Hello everybody, welcome to How to Make a Soundtrack. There's a new series I'm starting on YouTube, and in this first episode I'm gonna talk about how to make a heroic orchestral track. Before we start the tutorial, I'm gonna show you about 15 seconds of the track. It's called Taking the Fortress and you can find it in my channel. So, this track plays in Superfighters Deluxe when you're fighting a bunch of Nazis in a castle of extreme evil, a Nazi castle, and there's this big battle. So this track, the first thing I'm gonna talk about is the melody. You gotta have a concept behind your melody. So my idea was to pretend the melody is our hero. I divided the melody in 4 little parts here. This is the first part, the second, and third and fourth part. In the first part, I tried to imagine the hero trying to escape a dark context, because the world of Superfighters Deluxe is a dystopian world full of chaos, violence, and it's really dark. So to represent that dark context, I decided to use a minor key. In this case it's F minor, and the melody starts in F, accentuating that key. In this first part, the melody tries to climb up, tries to escape that dark context, rising up, trying to climb out of the hell, and it sounds like this. And in this second part, it fails. The hero fails. It tries to struggle, going up and down here in these little notes, but it ultimately falls down back to the root. So in this third part, our hero gets hope. He decides to keep fighting and decides to overcome this evil. So the melody goes down here to the C, and it jumps back up to the root but keeps that ascending motion, and you can see these notes kind of look like a little stairway here, and it goes up ascending. But this note here is really important. This A here, I started in F minor, right? So there's this A flat, but here I used an A, which is not in the key of F minor. But now I transformed the F minor chord into an F major chord. So from minor to major. I did this because here the hero succeeded, and he, with his positivity, his positive attitude, he was able to transform that dark context into a bright context. So he transformed things around him. And in this final part, the melody goes back to the root, goes down, resolves here, because okay, the hero has won this battle, but now he has to settle down and prepare for the next battle. And that's the idea in this part. But at the end there's this weird note here, this E. So it looks like it's gonna resolve here in the root, but then there's this note which creates a lot of tension. If I played the 2 notes at the same time, it sounds really tense, and you can even hear a vibration because the notes are really close to each other. I did this because I want to create a suspense, a little tension at the end to make you think what's gonna come next. so the melody can keep going forward and can start another battle, you know. So now let's talk a little bit about the harmony. The trombones are playing here this harmony, just playing the roots and the fifths, moving all together, kind of tough chords, like kind of like power chords in a guitar, which sounds really powerful with trombones or trumpets. Like I said, it starts in F minor, which is that dark context, and in the first part of the melody, which is the hero trying to escape and failing and falling back to the root, the harmony does kind of a similar thing. It starts in F minor, then E flat major, with just this major chord is kind of like giving a little hope for us, but it ends up falling back to F minor. And then when the hero starts to fail, there's this sad chord here, B flat minor, and it's just sad and kind of hopeless for the hero, and it goes back to F minor, like the hero can't escape that context. But then in this big second part here, everything changes. So there's relative chords, right? Every minor chord has a relative major chord and vice versa, like two sides of the coin. There's a bright side and the dark side. The dark side being a minor chord and the bright side being a major chord. So the relative of F minor is D flat major. Because these two chords share two notes and they sound really similar. So this is kind of the positive side of F minor. So when the hero here starts to rise up, that's when I played this positive side of things, you know, this D flat major, and the melody keeps rising, so I did the same for the harmony. The harmony is rising together, goes from D flat major to E flat major, and then it goes back to F. But instead of F minor, this time it's F major, because like I said before, the hero has kind of transformed the context into a bright context because he has a positive attitude. So there's this F major chord, and now at the final part of the melody, I did the same thing again. It's first D flat and then E flat, but instead of finishing off in F, I first go to C, because C is the 5 chord. The 5 chord is really good to resolve a chord progression because it transitions really well to the root chord. For example, if I play C major and then F minor, first of all, these two chords share this C note here. Also, there are these two shifts here from E to F, which is the root, and from G to G sharp or A flat. There are small shifts giving us the impression that we are arriving at the conclusion. So this is called a perfect cadence. I can play a C minor chord, which is in the key of F minor, but the melody wouldn't fit in C minor. The melody in this part goes like this. And this note of the melody, this E, is part of the C major chord. So it would sound really weird in C minor and out of key. It sounds too weird. So that's it for the harmony. And the idea for the rhythm is really simple. I just try to imagine a military marching band. Try to imagine a bunch of soldiers marching forward together with this rhythm, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's simple as that, and just soldiers marching forward in their rhythm. and every instrument is just marking those beats, just 1, 2. So the double bass, the tuba, trombone, they are all playing this rhythm. Where's the timpani? Here. Just marking these beats. Of course, there's a little variation here in like trombone, for example, at the end, just so it doesn't get too boring and repetitive. Kind of, I want it to have a little bit of unpredictability. And the timpani is not playing every beat, it's just playing the strongest beats. So the snare drums are playing a different rhythm, which people call a gallop rhythm because it sounds like a horse galloping. Like, just try to imagine a galloping horse, and it sounds just like that. Sounds like this, and it sounds a lot like a marching band too. It's a really common rhythm, and there's a little variation in the snare drums at the end here. So this rhythm makes sense if you think about it that way. If you try to imagine things in the music and how to express things musically, it makes sense. So that's about it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe if you want to see more episodes. And thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you next time.